first, we understand the NTSB press conference is underway now. Let's listen in live.
Recorder and from the flight data recorder. And I want to emphasize that this information that I'm going to give you is preliminary information which is subject to validation. But so with that caveat, I'll tell you what we know so far. The cockpit voice recorder is a 2-hour CVR. It contains good quality data. We have various parameters that we use to judge the quality of the CVR audio recording, and this is good quality. The CVR captures the entire accident flight. The accident flight was about 57 minutes long, the flight from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, up to the point of the accident. And their cruise altitude from Chapel Hill was 23,000 feet. Now, the Phenom 100, the accident aircraft, is certified for single pilot operation. And there was a passenger seated in the co-pilot seat for the entire flight from Chapel Hill. There was minimal conversation in the cockpit during the arrival. Now, air traffic control provided radar vectors for the RNAV GPS approach to runway 14 at Gaithersburg. There was an automated radio altitude call out, a call out at 500 feet, 32 seconds before the end of the recording. And this is just an automated call out that many airplanes have, and it announces 500. And so that, again, that was about 32 seconds before the end of the recording. Now, about 20 seconds before the end of the recording, there was an automated stall warning call out, and this call out continued all the way up until the end of the recording. This is an audio call out that states stall, 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 and it is there to announce an impending aerodynamic stall. Not a stall of the engines, an aerodynamic stall. Let's talk about the flight data recorder. It contained about 300 parameters, including the last 178 hours of operations of the aircraft. We do know from the FDR that the aircraft was configured for landing with flaps extended and the landing gear down for landing. Throughout the entire flight, the engine speeds followed their throttle commands. If the throttles were advanced, the engine speeds increased. If the throttles were retarded, the engine speeds reduced. The lowest recorded airspeed was approximately 88 knots. We're calling it 88 knots at this point, again, subject to validation, but we're saying 88 knots was the lowest recorded airspeed. And at that point, there were large excursions in pitch and in roll. About 2 seconds after the lowest recorded airspeed, the throttles were advanced and the engines responded. Now again, the FDR information, the CVR information, as I've just reported, is preliminary information subject to being validated. But we did want to give you the preliminary information so that you would have something to go on. Our structures group, they've spent the morning diagramming the wreckage. They've located all 4 corners of the aircraft, and that is accident investigator vernacular for locating the nose and the tail and both wingtips. And we want to locate the 4 corners of the aircraft to verify that the aircraft was all intact prior to the impact. And in fact, all 4 corners were located or accounted for at the accident site, meaning that the aircraft would have been intact prior to the initial impact. Our operations group is gathering information on the accident pilot. We do know that the accident pilot held an airline transport pilot certificate. He held a certified flight instructor certificate. He had approximately 4,500 flying hours. He held a current medical certificate. He was type rated in the Phenom 100. As has been widely reported in the media, the accident pilot had been involved in a